those symptoms. So, we have two options for our politics. We can either run around the decks of the Titanics with protest signs saying, I protest, this boat sucks. Or we can get busy building the next boat, a solar-powered, wind-powered boat, party on deck with scantily clad people with drinks in their hand, dancing to cool music. We'll pull up alongside the Titanic and people will jump willingly to our party boat. That's what this is about here today. So enjoy yourself at Earth Day, and let's make every day Earth Day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin. It is my honor now to introduce to you Trevor Green. A big applause to Trevor Green. Please, for those who don't know, Trevor is a California native who grew up on the beach of California, and he's often called a musical breath of fresh air. And you will see why, you guys. His most recent accomplishment is the upcoming major motion picture starring Sean Penn. This must be the place. I give you Trevor.
Thank you so much. How we sounding out there, okay? How you doing, San Francisco? My name's Trevor Green. We're down in the Southern California area. Super blessed to be up here for Earth Day. If there's a place to spend Earth Day, I'd say it'd be the city here.
Are empty. You feel it when the sun sets down. Do you feel it when the birds are plenty? You feel it when there is no sound. Well, I know the time has come for you, and I see you all alone. Reach inside and hold the moment. Reach inside and let it flow and go. Valley below. Do you feel it in the waves of the oceans? Do you feel it inside your soul? Well, I know the time has come for you, and I see you all alone. Reach inside and hold a moment. Reach inside and let it flow and go. Sets down. Do you feel it when the birds are plenty? Do you you feel it when there is no sound? Well, I know the time has come for you, and I see you all alone. Reach inside and hold the moment. Reach inside and let it flow.
Give it up for the grass dancers. Yeah, Buddy and Kaleo. Bringing it from the Southwest. All right, well, I don't know how we are on time. Do we have what's our time thing like here? I know it's very crunched, and just keep on going until somebody pulls me off. But we are truly blessed to be here in San Francisco. We don't get to come up here all that often, and I know there's a lot of earth energy amongst the city here, and it's quite special to share it with y'all. This is a tune called Valley of the White Horse.
sure she stands as a keeper of these great lands. And in the art she's drawn to me, for I see what was and what will be. Well, here we walk the line inside to find my way home. When clouds arrive, we find shelter from the storm. I sit back and relax and smoke.
you very much. Do appreciate it. How are we on time? We cut it there? I don't know. Bless you all. Yeah. Woo. We got 5. We got enough for one more.
We're gonna do one more. Justin. 1, 2. There you go.
Please give a big round of applause to Trevor Green. Please, you guys. He's awesome! Woo! One more.
Donations at the gate. Donations.
Make donations for RDSF at the gate, please, you guys, so this event can happen again. Thank you. One more, Trevor. We can't wait.
This is one of my favorite tunes, written by a man who, to me, embodies everything that this city's about, and I'm happy to share it with you.
Everything can be replaced. This every distance is not near, but I remember every face, every man who put me here. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be relieved. This every man needs protection. This every man must fall. I swear I've seen my reflection someplace so high above the wall. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be relieved. not to blame. All day long I hear him crying out loud, crying out he was praying. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released.
Bless you all. Thank you so much. Yeah. Keep that earth awareness happening, man. Changes are coming. The changes are coming. It's all through this beautiful awareness. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
yes,
Trevor. He was awesome. Are you kidding, guys? Give him a big round of applause. We want him back next year. Yes! Thank you, thank you, thank you. So now it's my honor to introduce and thank the Rogers Family Coffee. It is really, literally, they made this year EarthDSF possible. Thank you, thank you, thank you, the Rogers Family Coffee, and here they are. Before I introduce them to you, their mottos are, our products are grown for good, right? Yes. And that you make a difference everywhere you do business. Tell us about it.
Well, what we like to do is try and make products and things that can be grown for the benefit of the planet. And what we will not do is try and make a buck at the expense of the environment. And it's not just us out here. There's a whole lot of people out there doing the exact same thing, and we're really proud that everyone came out today to support it also. It's something we believe very strongly in, and we need to get some more people doing the same thing. And thank you. Thank you all for coming. Support all the people out there, please.
Hey, I want to let you know, thanks to Rogers Family Coffee, this event is happening. These guys stepped up when we got our rent increase from City Hall. And John Rogers and his family stood up and said, we will be the title sponsors to make sure this happens this year. So thanks to the Rogers Family Coffee. They do all biodegradable, sustainable products. They treat their workers right. They got great coffee, and it's all for free down at the monument down there all day long. Rogers Family Coffee for free. So thanks a lot, John, and your family and your team. These guys made it happen. Thank you. Right on. Thank you.
So now let me introduce Jess from the Sierra Club, and she's going to talk to you about 350.org and everything that's happening now. Thank you, Jess.
Thank you, Sophie. How's everybody doing today? Yeah? I'm here to put politics back in Earth Day. I don't know about you, and I hope you're here for that, but in the next half an hour, we're going to hear from 4 amazing speakers who are going to talk about environmental justice and climate action work going on locally here in the Bay Area and also nationally. My name is Jess Durbin-Ackerman. I'm an organizer with the local Sierra Club chapter, and we are here to hope to inspire you all to take action today and put politics back into Earth Day. We need to make sure that we are actually here to take action and not just celebrate. And each and every one of you can make a difference. Whatever action that's able for you to give today, that's great. We need every single one of you to make this happen and to stop climate disruption. So first, we have Stephanie Hervey, who is a social justice activist who moved to Richmond, California a year before the Chevron refinery exploded due to corroding pipes. Have y'all heard about the Chevron Richmond refinery explosion in August of 2012? That is an environmental injustice. And Stephanie is going to talk to you more about that. She experienced health issues from living in a city, Richmond, which is now classified as a toxic hotspot. And she decided she needed to take action. And so she joined in with the organization Communities for a Better Environment to organize Richmond against Chevron taking over and making Richmond into a corporatocracy. Communities for a Better Environment is a true ambassador bringing together food, environmental, economic, and social justice and art to change the culture and altitude towards climate change. From Richmond, California, please welcome Stephanie.
Hi. How y'all doing out there? Isn't it a beautiful day? The sun is shining. It's bright. You are wonderful. You're beautiful. I am so glad to be here today. I am here because I moved to Richmond, California in 2011, and a year later, a refinery blew up. I didn't even know they put refineries next to people. I moved here from Wisconsin, went to school in Atlanta, came here, and after dealing with such toxic chemicals and seeing people sick, I said, this is ridiculous. And then I was looking and seeing that they had the KXL. I didn't know what that was. When I found out what that was, I had to do something. The KXL pipeline is something that we know is a hazard to our community. Now, we did overcome last week. We do know that the decision was halted, but that's not enough. That is not enough. I want Obama to stop it before he leaves the office. It's like being on a football team and seeing your teammates miss the ball. You may not have another chance. I understand that there's a lot of politics mixed up, but what I want to tell you is that we need to change our culture. It's not easy to change the culture. It's not easy to change the way I have many kids, and we build these signs and we carry these signs and we march, but we sometimes have to use a vehicle. But what we can do to stop this is to unite. We need to unite the labor workers, the people that are working in these refineries. Their health is at risk. Chevron is not replacing the pipes. What they're doing is they're putting human beings there to stand there and watch the pipes. And if the pipe blows up, then they call the fire department. That's not what we want. And we can't expect the government to stand up for our rights. What we need to do is we need to take action. And each of us has something different that we can add to this movement. The nurses, you can tell them about how it's affecting the babies and the mothers and the people that are coming to the hospital to be treated. For the scientists, you can tell people, look, the climate is changing, regardless of whether you believe it's from the oil companies or you believe that it's due to evolution. The climate is changing. So it doesn't matter what you believe. Get on board with someone, with a group of people where you stand for one thing, and that is we are going to do something about the oil industry. We are going to shut them down. We're going to turn to renewables. We are going to plant flowers. So I'm with the Sunflower Alliance. We formed last year. We're a group of environmental justice. We are united with labor. We are united with the food justice. And we're united with artists. We want to unite with you. When you get a chance, look up the Sunflower Alliance, sunflower-alliance.org. Thank you for 350 Bay Area for hosting this show. And Communities for the Better Environment, thank them as well. They advocate for you every day at the state capitol. We get in front of the legislators and we tell them, look, we need to pass better regulation. Look, we don't like cap and trade because you're polluting our air and you're going to try to take it, resolve it later. But thank you for being here, and love one another, love the planet. This is for the children. These children here, we want to make a better future. We can't expect anyone else to do it but us, the parents, the family. We love you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Stephanie. Hi, how's everybody doing out there? Are we gonna win this fight on climate change? Woo! My name is Lisa Hoyos, and I am the co-founder and director of an organization called Climate Parents. And I am honored to get to introduce the other co-founder, Mark Hertzgaard, who will be speaking with you right now. Mark is a well-known writer. He wrote a book called Hot, Living Through the Next 50 Years on Earth. You'll find his excellent work in such publications as The Nation,
amazing dad. It's a pleasure every day to get to work with him. Give it up for Mark Hertzger.
There you go. Hey, it's great to see everybody out here today. And I am here as a writer. Yes, thank you, Lisa, for that fulsome introduction. But I'm mainly here as a parent. So I want to see a raise hands. How many people here are parents? Great. How many people here have a parent? There you go. All right. So that love is what's going to carry us through this. That love for that little person who comes into your life and changes your life forever. That love is what's going to carry us through some difficult times. We just heard about the decision on Keystone. That's because of people like you. Thank you so much for coming out on Earth Day. If you're honest, I think a lot of us sometimes wonder, well, geez, I'm going to another march, another rally. Does it make any difference? Any of you ever felt that way? I know I have. I've been coming to these things for a long time. There is no way that Keystone would not have been built by now without marches, without rallies, without people getting in the streets. People like you giving up your beautiful Saturday here to be in solidarity with others, to say what needs to be said. So I want to talk a little bit, just briefly here, about Earth Day, because Earth Day's kind of fallen into, I don't know, some people tell me, oh, why do we even bother with Earth Day anymore? What does it make a difference? So a little history tells us how wrong that is. The first Earth Day, 1970. You know how many people went into the streets? 20 million Americans were in the streets. And at that point, that was almost 10% of the American population. And because of 20 million people being in the streets on April 22nd, 1970, a Republican president named Richard Nixon ended up championing and signing environmental laws that remain the strongest environmental laws in the world. We here in the United States have those laws. The Clean Air Act, the Clean Water Act, the Endangered Species Act, the National Environmental Policy Act. These are laws that happened not because Mr. Nixon cared about the spotted owl. The poor man, when he walked on the beach down in San Clemente, he used to wear wingtip shoes. But we know now from the memoirs of his administration, the top people in his administration writing their memoirs, that the reason that Richard Nixon passed all of those laws was because he saw 20 million people in the streets on Earth Day, and he was running for re-election in 2 years. And he decided that he was going to take the environmental issue away from the Democrats by championing the environment. And that's what has happened time and time again in American history. Environmental change comes not so much from public opinion. It comes from public protest. Public protest. Public opinion is soft and shallow. Public protest is deep and passionate. That's what you're doing. That's why it's so important that you're here today. As a father, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everything else that you're going to be doing, because you are going to have to do more. We have stopped the Keystone Pipeline, but we have not defeated it. We need a bigger movement still. A bigger movement. A more passionate movement. That's what we're building today. So I want to ask each of you in closing to make a pledge with me. Those of you who are parents, I hope you'll come to the Climate Parents website, come up and talk to us afterwards. We need every single one of you to join in. But I want everybody here, whether you're a parent or you have a parent, to help us build this movement bigger. So for the next action, who will raise your hands if you will pledge to bring 2 more people with you next time? Just 2 more people. maybe your parent, maybe your kid. Bring 2 more people to the next rally. And then those people bring 2 more people. And before you know it, we will be back up to the 20 million people from the first Earth Day that put us on this path today. So can I see a show of hands? Who is going to do that? 2 more people. I want to see a show of hands right there. 2 people. 2 people, 2 people, 2 people. That would make this crowd 3 times as big. So, thank you all for coming. Please come and see Climate Parents. And I'm so glad to be here on the same stage with my old pal Bill McKibben, who you're going to hear from in just a minute. And Bill, like me, is a journalist who has crossed over into activism. And you should just know that within the environmental movement, not everyone has agreed with Bill and the 350 people who said that we have to go after Keystone and we have to build a popular movement. A lot of this movement is a little too stuck in Washington, D.C. and incremental changes. I don't think we have time for incremental changes now. And Bill McKibben and 350 and the folks who have been leading this Keystone fight, folks like yourselves, they're the ones that we should be thanking today. So thank you very much. Thanks for being here, and onwards with the fight. Thank you. ClimateParents.org.
Give it up for Mike. Mark, sorry, Mark. Are you guys getting hot? It's a pretty nice day, right? Glad you all could be out here with me. So Mark brought up the Keystone XL, and as we know, there's been recently a delay in that. But did you know that we're actually fighting our local Keystone XL fight here in the Bay Area? We're having threats of tar sands oil and Bakken shale oil, which is the kind that explodes when trains derail, proposed to come to our Bay Area refineries and rail terminals throughout our cities and counties. Right. So you know why we don't have a big crowd here? Because people are doing work right now instead of being out here on those local fights. And we need all of you to not only support the Keystone XL fight, but we need you to support our fight against refinery expansion and bringing tar sands to the Bay Area by rail right here. So you have an opportunity to do that. Idle No More Bay Area is along with a ton of other organizations are hosting healing walks in the Bay Area once a month between refinery towns or towns that have oil infrastructure proposed to be built there. The next healing walk is on Saturday, May 17th. Are you writing this down? Are you going to remember it? I want to see all of you there. They had one of these last weekend and people walked 15 miles from Pittsburgh, California to Martinez. And everyone I talked to said they had an incredible time. The next healing walk, we want to see all of you there. It's from Martinez to Rodeo, and it's going to be on May 17th. It's only 5 miles. I promise it's not as long as the last one. Oh, Martinez to Benicia. I'm so sorry about that. So, and then we're going to have one from Benicia to Rodeo on June 14th, and then from Rodeo to Richmond. For the first time, refinery towns are really coming together and supporting each other. They're not letting themselves be beat up by the oil companies that have typically just donated money to their towns and cities for their libraries or community centers and shut up. They're actually coming together and fighting back, and we need all of your support. Even if you don't live in one of these refinery towns or fence line communities, they need your support. So please show up on May 17th. Thank you. Our next speaker is Melanie. Sorry, hold on. Our next speaker is an incredible woman. Melanie Harrison is one of the few women of color in the U.S. with a doctorate in environmental science. She moved to California to become an environmental scientist and water quality specialist with the National Oceanic and Atmosphere Administration, or NOAA.
Her research interests focus on water policy and natural resource management, and passions include mentoring youths as a big sister in the San Francisco Big Brothers Big Sister program, and being an advocate for increasing diversity in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics fields. We need more people like Melanie. Here she is to talk to you. Thank you. And step into the sunlight.
Thanks for the introduction. Thanks to everyone who's out here today to show their reverence for the environment. Show of hands, how many people had something profound happen to them in their past that allowed them to be standing right here today? I did. It fundamentally changed the way I think about the world and really how I function in it. So I'm going to tell you a little story about my background in hopes that you have a better understanding of what led me to this place today and why I continue to challenge others to connect, engage, and inspire the next generation of Earth environmental scientists. I grew up in a small town in Tuskegee, Alabama. My great-grandmother used to wake me and my twin sister up every Saturday morning to go fishing in Lake Martin. We didn't want to. She made us. But in those Alabama lakes, I learned to swim, bait a hook, catch catfish, brim, and bass. I also caught my first hook in the jaw, too. She was a fisherwoman, and she was my first teacher in life. She taught me the beauty of nature and the bounty that it could produce, and that by doing, you can pretty much be anything you want it to be. So it really is no coincidence that I'm standing here today talking about some of the most pressing issues in terms of water resources, as well as our fisheries. Many of our endangered species today: Chinook salmon, green sturgeon, and coho salmon. Like many more pressing ecologic issues, too numerous to name, we must work together in terms of our diversity, our culture, and different ways of thinking to solve these environmental problems. A really great activist, Baba Dion, once said, "We will conserve what we love, we will love what we understand, and we will understand what we are taught." My challenge to folks out there today is to simply get rid of the notion that the way that we primarily educate ourselves and our youth is in the classroom. Get rid of the notion that in order to inspire, in order to engage, in order to tell others about the things that are happening on our planet, come from a very small few. It comes from you all. Let's rethink how we redefine how we educate the next generation of environmental stewards. Because there are too many problems out there in terms of deforestation, global climate change, ocean acidification, and these are issues that are happening at the global scale that affect not only us, but millions of folks out there. It's really not hard to do, and there's no mystery. All you have to do is look to your neighbor, your classmates, go to your churches, your watershed groups, go to anyone that you can find, a person walking on the street, and tell them what some of these issues are. Because when they are aware, they become conscious. And when we understand, we have a better awareness of the things that are going on around us. I want everyone out there to be stewards. I don't care what your age is. I don't care what your gender is. I don't care what your social, political background is. We all live on this planet. We all want to see future generations be able to take part in what we take part in today, and hopefully be better than what we see today. So I'm challenging folks that are out there, connect with someone that you know. Connect with more people than you know. Because the more that you connect, the more that you bring your understanding to the table and understand where they're coming from, the more that you will begin to make a valued impact on our earth and our environment. Thank you.
Give it up for Melanie. Wow. Impressive lady over there, isn't she? and she's doing a great job at involving community members. So we've talked a lot about, putting politics back into Earth Day and taking action and getting involved. I would love to see hands. Who here is involved in a campaign or an organization that is working to take money out of politics, advocate for clean energy solutions, or fight fossil fuel industries? Please raise your hand. Great. Look around you. Keep your hands up and look around you. Look at this amazing community. So, Mark Hertzgaard told you to bring 2 more people to the next one. That's 3 times as many people involved in our local campaigns. And if you weren't raising your hand, all of those booths over there behind you are organizations like the Sunflower Alliance, 350 Bay Area, and Sierra Club, which have tangible actions for you to take today to make a difference in your community. So, next up is our last speaker. He needs barely no introduction. Bill McKibben, president and co-founder of 350.org. All right, give it up for Bill.
Well, thank you all very much. The last time I got up on a stage to talk in the Bay Area, my wife Sue and I were up on the stage in Richmond, California, and then they put us in handcuffs and took us away. So hopefully that won't happen today, but that was an awfully important and good day, and it's a reminder of just how fast and just how broad this movement is building. You all heard the news yesterday that we're going to delay for another 6 or 8 months a decision on the Keystone Pipeline. Now, that's not the best news in the world. The best news in the world would have been that the president summoned his courage and actually said no. But on the other hand, I spent the afternoon looking at statements from oil company executives, and I got to say, the sadder they got, the happier I got as the day went on. It is a pretty good reminder of how amazing it is that we're even where we are there. 3 years ago when this fight really began, nobody thought that the Keystone Pipeline could ever be stopped. The National Journal in Washington, the big insider magazine, they polled their 300 Washington energy experts, and 97% of them said that TransCanada would have their permit by the end of 2011. All they've got are big piles of rusting pipe in vacant lots across the Midwest. And y'all have kept 830,000 barrels of oil a day in the ground in the tar sands where it belongs. And San Francisco has played more than it's punched way above its weight, as they say in this fight. There have been great leadership from influential people like Tom Starr, and from great groups like the Sierra Club and the Rainforest Action Network and our friends at Credo, who have been way, way out front organizing everybody, because we may have to end up in handcuffs again before this whole thing is over. 2 things to say about what's going on with Keystone. One of them is that we can't forget that our fight in the end is not about stopping the Keystone Pipeline, it's about stopping climate change, okay? And so we build from this to go to a much bigger place. The second thing is, the most important lesson that we have learned from that Keystone fight is, when we stand up and stand up together, we're actually a match for all the money in the world, which is how much money the oil industry has, They said last week Forbes magazine said that the combined net worth of the Koch brothers was now above $100 billion, okay? Taken together, they're by far the richest person on earth. But all that money hasn't bought them yet this pipeline, and frankly, they're in a lot weaker. I like our position better than theirs going forward because the world is swinging our direction. The price of solar panels is dropping like a rock, and every time it does, it's a threat to that industry. Here's the lesson: when we stand together, we win, so we have to stand together more. We have to stand together for things like divestment. This movement is blossoming all over the world. Oxford University said that it was the fastest growing anti-corporate campaign in history. Last week, the faculty of Harvard University demanded that they divest. Last week, Pitzer College in California followed the lead of San Francisco State and divested. Last week, Desmond Tutu, who's got to be one of the 3 or 4 greatest human beings alive on this planet, Desmond Tutu called on everybody in the Western world to sell off their shares in those fossil fuel companies and join in solidarity with the poorest people around the world who are suffering the most. We need that to include the city of San Francisco. We need your mayor, who hasn't done a damn thing about divestment, to do something about it. The Board of Pensions in this city has hundreds of millions of dollars invested in fossil fuel companies. That's just plain foolish. To invest money for people's retirement in companies that are making sure they have no planet to retire on is the absolute opposite of fiduciary responsibility or stewardship or anything else. So you tell your mayor, just like we're telling President Obama all the time, we're tired of people offering up good words about climate change. We know that they don't like global warming, blah, 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 blah. We want them actually to do what is important and easy and necessary for them to do, and to do it now. Now. That's the thing. That was my first thought when I heard that the State Department had postponed again for 6 or 8 more months the Keystone decision. Part of me was happy, but part of me was just like, well, if only they could postpone the droughts and the floods and the El Niños and everything else, you know? There's no more time for postponing. The time for acting has come. And we know that in California more than we know it almost any place else. It hasn't really rained here for an awful long time. That's not how it's supposed to be. Fire season lasts year-round. This is one of the most beautiful places in the whole world. I was born in California, and I'm proud to have been, even though I moved back east long ago. But it is horrible to watch it start to dry up, to watch fire sweep across the very place where John Muir kind of invented the modern environmental movement a century ago. We're fighting for our neighbors and friends all over the world. We're fighting for our friends in the Solomon Islands, who we just this last week had flooding so bad that it took away whole communities from record rainstorms. Lots of dead people, but our 350 organizer in the Solomon Islands just sent word that they'd had an amazing training for the movement there in the wake of those floods, with more and more people understanding how they had to come together. They're representative of people all around the globe. It's that people power that is going to make the difference. If anything makes the difference, we have to all join hands to make that happen. That's why I'm so glad you're here today, and it's why I'm even happier that I know you'll be there the next time when we have not just talk and not just organic good stuff to buy. But the next time that we need to go to jail and the next time that we need to speak truth to power and all those things, there are going to be a lot of next times. That's what a movement is about. But we are on the offensive and we are gaining ground and we are picking up momentum and we are going to win. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you so much, Bill. Thank you for everything. No, we have to go.
Thank you so much, Bill. Okay, we talked about taking action and you actually doing something. And what we need you to do is take out your cell phone right now. I know you have it. I know you have it. Hold it up in the air. I'll do it too. I want to see your cell phones up in the air, just like this. All right, this movement takes people. It takes people on the ground, but it also takes money. Now, the easiest thing you can do is give $5 or $10, and all you have to do is text the word climate to, ready for it, 510-854-8726. We need money to put on events like this. If you want another thing like this to be able to come to and bring those two people, please donate to 350 Bay Area. It's an incredible all-volunteer grassroots organization, and we couldn't do it without your support in the streets, in the hearing rooms, and your financial support. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And to thank again Bill. Change, fundamental change is our best hope on a planet suddenly, violently out of balance. Let's give a big round of applause for Bill and all he does each and every day. Thank you. And now, it's my honor to thank the force behind Earth Day SF, a man who's so humble, who makes this possible. Douglas Kohlberg, the producer of Earth Day SF.
Yeah.
Woo! Thank you, Douglas.
Thank you, and thank you, everybody, for coming out. We're just going to let this event grow larger and larger and have more and more impact as we go along, and that's for you. So I want to thank all of you for coming out and making this a great success.
Thank you, Douglas. It takes 1 year to prepare this event. Thank you. And now it's my honor to introduce Dr. Meg Lohman, American biologist, educator, ecologist, writer, and speaker, nicknamed the real-life Lorax by National Geographic and Hashtag of the Tree Troops by the Wall Street Journal. Meg pioneered the science of canopy ecology. On January 6, 2014, Lohman joined the California Academy of Science at its inaugural Chief of Science and Sustainability. Her personal mantra is, no child left indoors. I give you Dr. Lohman.
Thank you. Ever so quick, we want to make a big plug for the California Academy of Sciences. Your museum, the third largest in the world, and we're here to represent all those voters of the next generation. So here they are, the next generation. We need them to adopt Earth Day. So these are my family. This is the whole staff family representing the California Academy of Sciences. Raise your hand if you've ever climbed a tree. Yeah. Woo! If you haven't, we will teach you at the California Academy, but I would love all of you to pledge for Earth Day this year to take a kid outdoors. Let them get muddy. Let them eat a bug, maybe. Let them have a little fun with nature. At the California Academy, we have 45 million specimens from all over the world. You might think, gee, that sounds like a lot of boring jars, but that's the future. The future is in all of these species. I just came back from Taiwan, teaching the Taiwan people how to climb trees and collect medicines and find amazing things that will probably be the cure for cancer. So you have in San Francisco one of the biggest treasures. All these guys are the staff. He's holding a skull, and we have a very cool exhibit starting pretty soon. Come to our booth and see a skull that's 10 times bigger. But please support all of these fabulous programs in San Francisco that help the next generation discover why Earth Day is important. Thank you all. We are so grateful for your support at the California Academy of Sciences. Come visit us.
All right, let's give it up.
Okay, thank you.
All right, everybody, my name's Sean, one of the producers of Earth Day. I want to thank having Bill McKibben and 350.org out here. What a treat to have them. All the great musicians, entertainers, the vendors, everyone makes this happen. And we really cannot, if you notice, the cost to get in today is absolutely zero. That's very, very rare in San Francisco. Not much is free these days. And this show isn't really free either. We need your donations, just a little bit, a couple bucks, anything you can give to the people in the green shirts at the gates. We try to keep this a free donation event. It is not cheap, not expensive. Our rent keeps going up, cost of living going up. If you can give a couple bucks, give a program guide, make somebody's day, help us keep this a donation-only event. We really, really appreciate it. So please donate. Thanks for all your support. It's been a wonderful day. We've got some great bands coming up, more speakers, and the Eco Fashion Show in just a moment. So hang tight. We'll have the Eco Fashion Show on. Thank you. Just give a couple bucks. It's all we need. Thank you.
Just the roadkill, okay?
Stand by the ocean, hand in hand, just beginning.
Thank you so much. It is my great honor now to introduce you to Kevin Danner, co-founder of Global Exchange, co-founder of Fair Trade USA, co-producer of Green Festival. He's the author and editor of 11 books, including his latest, The Green Festival Reader, Fresh Ideas from Agents of Change, Building the Green Economy, Source Stories from the Grassroots. Kevin, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. So I'll show my respect by being brief, folks. You know the bad news. The bad news is that every biological system on the face of our planet is collapsing, and I use that verb advisedly. The September issue of National Geographic, the cover story was about ocean levels. If all the ice on the planet melts, which it appears to be doing, it raises ocean levels over 200 feet. Let me repeat that. 70 meters, 200 feet. That means this is underwater. The ballpark is underwater. All the redevelopment they're doing at Hunters Point, Bayview is underwater. Every major city in the world is on a coast or on a river that backs up into the ocean. So This is going to mean that we are having to change the direction of our species from having a single bottom line economy that's all about money, 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 to a triple bottom line economy that's about social justice, environmental restoration, and financial sustainability, what's usually